If you're trying to stretch your money further, or you're just tired of constantly feeling broke, you're in the right place. In this video, you'll hear about some non-obvious budget hacks that actually work in 2025. These are real strategies people are using to save hundreds or even thousands of dollars every month without cutting out all the joy from their lives. How do you shift from a just surviving mindset to the mindset of someone who's actually building real wealth? Why does buying cheap stuff keep you poor? And how can you slash your subscription bills without feeling deprived? You'll hear all of that in this video. Hit the like button to support this video and let me know in the comments if any of these hacks helped you. Let's get into it. Let's start with something really basic. There's one thing that's ruthlessly draining your wallet right now, and you probably don't even realize it. Subscriptions. Think about it for a second. How many active subscriptions do you have right now? Netflix, YouTube Premium, Spotify, cloud storage, that fitness app you downloaded 3 months ago? The list can go on forever. The average person has around 10 to 15 active subscriptions they pay for every month, but a huge chunk of them are basically dead weight. They're quietly charging you while you sleep, and you don't even remember they exist. The first budget hack is to run a subscription audit. Grab your bank or card statements for the last 2 or 3 months. Go through them line by line and write down every single recurring payment. And here's the key question for each one. Did I actually use this in the last month? Not do I plan to use it, but did you really use it? Netflix? Most people keep it just to have something to put on when they're bored. But think about it. If you watch it for about 30 minutes a day, you might be paying something like 30 cents for half an hour of entertainment. That's not bad at all. But if you only turn it on once a week, that's about $3 per viewing. That's basically a movie ticket for a service you barely touch. If you do this audit right now, you'll almost certainly find at least $100 to $200 a month you're just throwing away. That's $1,200 to $2,400 a year on things you don't even use. Go through the list and cancel everything you're not actively using. Don't think, oh, maybe I'll use this in the future. You won't. People are terrible at predicting their future behavior. We like to imagine our future selves as more productive and more disciplined. But if you haven't opened it for a month, don't kid yourself. You're not going to start using it. But what if the content you like is spread out over several platforms? You don't need 4 streaming services at the same time. Subscribe to Netflix for a month, watch everything you wanted, cancel it, then subscribe to another platform the next month. Rotate them throughout the year. You'll still get access to everything you want, but you'll be paying a fraction of what most people pay. What about buying cheap stuff? Isn't that the ultimate budget hack? Just grab the cheapest brand, the cheapest t-shirt, flying shirt, the budget laptop. In reality, that's exactly what keeps you stuck and makes it harder to escape the cycle of being broke. Here's a concept that will completely change how you see prices. Cost per use. Instead of staring at the price tag, think about how many times you'll actually use the item. Let's say you need winter boots. You can buy a cheap pair for $40 that falls apart after one winter and you'll have to replace them. That's $40 for one season. Or you can spend $150 on a quality pair that lasts 10 years or more. That's $15 a year, or about $1.25 a month. The cheap boots end up costing you way more because you're constantly replacing them. This applies to almost everything. Cheap phone chargers that break every 3 months, cheap skincare or makeup that damages your skin so you have to buy more products to fix it. These costs keep stacking up and force you to spend again and again. That doesn't mean you should run out and drop $1,000 on everything. Instead, focus on things you use several times a week or every single day. That's where spending a bit more on quality actually saves you money long term. A $200 mattress that lasts 3 years is worse than a $600 mattress that lasts 15. Do the math before you buy. How many times a week or month will you use this? How long will it realistically last? What's the total cost divided by the number of uses? That number is the real price you're paying. Food costs are destroying a lot of people's budgets right now. If you eat out, grab coffee every day, or constantly order delivery, you're easily spending $15 to $25 a day just on food and drinks. That's $5,000 to $10,000 a year. Here's what most people don't get about grocery shopping and cooking. You don't need exciting food to save money. You actually need to do the opposite. Meal prep is going to sound boring, and that's exactly the point. You pick 2 or 3 meals you genuinely don't mind eating on repeat throughout the week. For example, grilled chicken with rice and broccoli, beef tacos, pasta with red sauce and veggies. That's it. Pick simple meals where the main ingredients are on sale that week. Check what's on sale at your grocery store. Most places have weekly ads online. Build your menu around what's cheap this week. This week chicken is discounted? Buy a bunch of chicken and build your meals around that. Next week ground beef is on sale? Switch it up. Then you actually batch cook those meals. Spend around 3 hours on Sunday cooking for the whole week. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to eat food that fills you up, costs very little, and that you can eat 5 days in a row without hating your life. By the way, frozen and canned vegetables are your best friends. People think frozen veggies are less healthy, but that's not true. They're about as nutritious as fresh ones because they're frozen right after harvest. They last a long time, let you eat well, and often cost about half as much. Another hack: buy meat in bulk when it's on sale and freeze it. If you have freezer space, you can stock up on, say, 20 pounds of chicken at 50% off and basically lock in that price for the next few months. Calculate your food cost per portion. If you spend $40 and make 20 meals, that's $2 per meal. Compare that to a $12 lunch, and you're easily saving at least $200 a month just by doing this. Here's something that used to sound strange, but is totally normal in 2025. Buying secondhand is cooler than buying new. Gen Z figured this out first, and now everyone else is catching up. The secondhand hack is simple. Check the resale market before you buy anything new. Furniture? You can find quality pieces for 50 to 75% off. Clothes? You can get designer items for $10. Electronics? Often work perfectly fine and save you hundreds. There are so many platforms now: Facebook Marketplace, eBay, secondhand clothing sites, local thrift and consignment stores. Whatever you're looking for, there's someone who owns it, doesn't need it anymore, and is willing to sell it to you for a fraction of the original price. Shopping secondhand teaches you something important. Most things really don't have to be new. You buy a used office chair for $30 that would cost $150 new? It works perfectly. Nobody cares that it's used. But your brain wanted the new one because of marketing, social pressure, and all that. And if you're good at flipping items, turn it into a little hustle. Buy used furniture in a thrift store, list it on Facebook Marketplace, and sell it for more. There are people who have started small businesses just from buying things at yard sales or thrift stores and reselling them. That's basically money out of thin air. Even if you never flip anything, just buying secondhand can easily cut your spending on clothes, furniture, and household items in half. That's a massive amount of money. Transportation costs are one of the biggest budget killers that people rarely talk about. Car payments, gas, insurance, maintenance. For most people, these are huge expenses. The hack here is a mindset shift. For short trips, anything that's under about a 20-minute walk, just walk. It sounds obvious, but most people don't do it. You save on gas, you save on parking, and you get free exercise. You're basically getting paid to walk because you're keeping that money in your pocket. If you live somewhere with decent public transport, use it. People don't realize how insanely expensive it is to own a car in a city with good transit. Your car payment, plus gas, plus insurance, plus parking can easily be $500 to $1,000 a month. A monthly transit pass? maybe 100 to 200. That's $4,800 to $10,800 saved per year. If you still drive, here's a hack. Join your insurer's Safe Driver program. You let your insurance company track your driving through an app, and in return, you get discounts, often up to 30%. Even if you only get 20% off, that's money you weren't saving before. Carpooling is another thing people forget about. If coworkers live in the same direction, share rides and split gas. You can cut your transportation budget in half. Most people treat car costs like a law of nature. They're not. You can change them. The real wealth move is recognizing that transportation is one of your biggest expenses and actually trying to shrink it instead of just accepting it. Utility bills are wild right now. People are shocked by how much they pay for electricity, especially in the summer with the AC running non-stop, or in winter because of heating. Here are some quick wins. Bump your thermostat up a couple of degrees in summer and down a couple in winter. It sounds basic, but each degree can change your energy use by around 6 to 8%. So if you raise your AC from 70 degrees Fahrenheit to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, you might save roughly 12 to 16% on cooling costs. Over the summer, that could easily be $50 to $100. Use blackout curtains or blinds. Most of the heat coming through your windows in summer is literally solar radiation. Block it and your place stays cooler, so your AC doesn't have to work as hard. Again, that can save another $50 to $100 over the season. Switch to LED bulbs. They cost a bit more up front, but last way longer and use much less electricity. If you have around 20 light bulbs at home and switch them all to LEDs, you could save about $15 a month on lighting. And unplug devices when you're not using them. Standby power is real. Electronics in sleep mode still pull energy. Each one doesn't cost much, but together they add up. This is going to sound like something your grandparents did, and they did, and it actually works really well. The cash envelope system is ridiculously simple. For your fun and personal spending, anything that's not mandatory bills, you pull cash from the ATM. Then you split it into envelopes or categories. When the cash is gone, that's it. You stop spending. Here's why this works when budgeting apps don't. Your brain doesn't treat digital money the same way as physical cash. When you tap your card, your brain doesn't fully register it as losing real money. It's abstract. But when you hand over physical bills and watch your envelope get thinner, your brain feels it. You become way more aware of every purchase. The trick is to be realistic about your fun money. If you know you like grabbing coffee on weekends, don't give yourself $5 for the month. You'll blow through it, get frustrated, and run back to your credit card. Give yourself enough to enjoy life, but not so much that you're just throwing money away. Let's say you give yourself $200 a month for fun. Coffee, eating out, movies, whatever. Once it's gone, it's gone. You either find free ways to have fun, or you wait until next month. Most people find that they become much more intentional and spend a lot less when they do this. Here's a step most people never take. They just accept whatever their insurance company offers. They pay whatever they're told. That's lost money. The hack is to shop around and negotiate. Your current insurer is betting you're too lazy to switch, so they often charge you more than they charge new customers. Call your insurance company and say something like, "I've gotten cheaper quotes from other companies. If you can't match them, I'm going to switch." You'll be surprised how often they lower your rate just to keep you. For car insurance, get quotes from at least 3 different companies. The price can differ by hundreds of dollars. It's not hard, and it's free. If you don't do this, you're basically leaving hundreds of dollars on the table every year. Same goes for home or renter's insurance. Same for pretty much any type of insurance. These companies count on you not doing the work. If you put in a little effort, you can usually save 10 to 30%. Here's the thing about stretching your budget. You can only cut expenses so far, but there's no limit to how much you can increase your income. Most people think a side hustle means starting a big business or working crazy hours. It doesn't have to. A side hustle in 2025 can be very simple. First, sell what you don't need. Go through your closet, your garage, that drawer full of random stuff. List it on OLX, Facebook Marketplace, and other platforms. You've got money just sitting in your home. Turn it into cash. There are people who've made $500 to $1,000 just by doing a big declutter and selling everything online. Second, gig work. Uber, food delivery, local task apps. This won't make you rich, but if you work a few hours on the weekend, you can pull in a couple $100s. That's money that doesn't come out of your main paycheck. Third, freelancing. If you have any skills, writing, design, social media, coding, whatever, there are platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and similar sites where you can offer your services. Even if you're not an expert, there are simple tasks you can do. Reality check. If you can earn an extra $500 a month, that does way more for your finances than trying to squeeze another $50 out of your food budget. Most people obsess over cutting expenses, but boosting your income is often easier and more powerful. We've talked about a lot of practical tips, but the real game changer is the mindset that comes with a budget-friendly lifestyle. First, stop treating consumption as entertainment. A huge share of people's spending is just fighting boredom. They're not buying things because they need them. They're buying because they're bored, and it feels good for a moment. That feeling disappears in an hour, but the money is gone for good. Replace that with low-cost or free fun. Go for a walk, read a book, call a friend, cook something new, play a video game you already own. The things that genuinely make you happy usually don't require constant spending. Second, being broke is often a choice, not in a judgmental way, but in the sense that most people don't actually watch their money. They don't track it. They don't make conscious decisions. They just let it flow wherever. Then they're surprised there's nothing left. You're out of money because you're not managing it. It really is that simple. Third, frugality is not deprivation. This is important. People think living on a budget means being miserable and never having fun. That's not true. It means being intentional. You're not blowing $300 on a random night out, but you do have money set aside for a really awesome experience once a month that you actually planned. That experience feels way better because you chose it on purpose. Fourth, your future self is a real person, and you're spending their money right now. Every dollar you waste on stuff you don't need is a dollar your future self can't use to do something amazing or work less. Thinking like that makes most people look at their spending in a completely different way. To wrap this up, remember that real, lasting change doesn't happen overnight. Pick one hack, just one. Do a subscription audit, or try the cash envelope system, or buy something you need secondhand instead of new. Choose one thing and actually do it this week. Then next week, add one more. Build it up gradually. The goal here isn't to be miserable and broke. The goal is to get to a point where you're making conscious choices with your money so you have freedom and options. That might mean saving up for something you truly want. It might mean having an emergency fund so a car repair doesn't destroy you financially. It might mean being able to choose a job you actually like instead of the one that just pays more but makes you miserable. If this video was helpful, please hit like and subscribe. I'll keep posting new content for you as often as I can. And if you have budget hacks that work for you, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.